Good morning and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, October 17th. For introductions, my name is Todd Wilchin. I am the chair of the county board this year. On my left, fellow Commissioner Deb Shore. On my right, fellow Commissioner Jennifer Brinkman. Commissioners Roma Amundsen and Vice Chair Commissioner Bill Avery are on vacation today, so they will not be joining us. With the County Attorney's Office, we have David Durbin joining us this morning. From the County Clerk's Office, we have the County Clerk, Dan Nolte, and Kelly Lundgren. From the County Board Office, we have our Chief Administrative Officer, Carrie Egan, and our Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Ann Ames. Now, if you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed in today's open meetings available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, October 10th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held last Tuesday, October 10th. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through October 17th, 2017.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all claims processed through today. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next, there are 2 public hearings that were held over. First one, number 3A, is a Class C liquor license application from Newmark Golf Course, LLC at 8901 Augusta Drive, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, I'm going to see if anyone in the audience has any interest in testifying in support, opposition, or in the neutral capacity for the Class C liquor license application for Newmark Golf Course. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing for the license application for Newmark Golf Course.
Next is 3B. This is a manager application for Kinsey Bauer in connection with a Class C liquor license for Newmark Golf Course, LLC, at 8901 Augusta Drive, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, anyone in the audience wishing to testify in support, in the opposition, or neutral capacity for the manager application for Kinsey Bauer in connection with the Class C liquor license for Newmark Golf Course? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing for this manager application. Please see the correlating item, Mr. Clerk.
This is under new business 5A as a resolution in the matter of an application for a Class C liquor license for Newmark Golf LLC and a corporate manager liquor license for Kinsey Bauer in connection with a Class C liquor license for Newmark Golf LLC located at 8901 Augusta Drive, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution in the matter of the application for the Class C liquor license for Newmark Golf and the corporate manager license for Kinsey Bauer. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 4 is unfinished business. This is acceptance of a deputy sheriff's temporary retirement buyout program application and agreement between the County of Lancaster, Nebraska, and Mike Novacek, an employee in the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Novacek's resignation is effective February 8th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the Deputy Sheriff's Temporary Retirement Buyout Program application from Mike Novacek. Any discussion? Novacek. Any discussion? Okay. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. New business 5B is liability insurance coverage with the National Legal Aid and Defenders Association Service Corporation for the Lancaster County Public Defender's Office in the amount of $6,267.55. The policy begins on November 1st, 2017, for a period of 12 months.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the liability insurance coverage with the National League Aid and Defenders Association. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. C is Emergency Management Performance Grant from NEMA to Lancaster County on behalf of Lincoln Lancaster County Emergency Management in the amount of $153,377 for the period of July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Good morning.
Jim David Saver, Director, Lincoln Lancaster County Emergency Management. I just wanted to recognize my staff for their good work in preparing this grant document to ensure our full eligibility. We not only have to participate in the application process, we also have to submit timely reimbursement requests and then quarterly reports to maintain our eligibility. So that's what set us up for this, and other than that, I'd answer any questions that you might have.
Can you speak to the item number D? I'm assuming that it's related to item C.
It is, as far as the interlocal agreement, yes, that Lancaster County is part of the 14 county southeast region. We refer to it as the PET group. PET stands for Planning, Exercise, and Training. It's an interlocal agreement that has a 5-year term on it, so we need to renew that. The new one will be good through June of 2022. It establishes Lancaster County as the grant administrator for the money that's awarded to the region. The good thing about that process is the money is placed into the grant management system and is not eligible for use until projects have been approved by the state level. So we, as Lancaster County representing the region, just manage and administer that money to ensure that it's spent on the projects that have been pre-approved.
Well, excellent. Any questions for Mr. David Saver?
I will move approval of item C.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Emergency Management Performance Grant from NEMA on behalf of the Lancaster County Emergency Management. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5D is an interlocal agreement amongst the counties of Cass, Gage, Fillmore, Jefferson, Johnson, Lancaster, Nemaha, Odo, Pawnee, Richardson, Saline, Seward, Thayer, and York, establishing the southeast region.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement establishing the southeast region. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. E is the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office mini-grant contract application and award for the purchase of 2 in-car camera systems for the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. Lancaster County will pay $2,590 and NDOT HSO will pay $7,000.
Talk about these.
Good morning.
Good morning, Todd Duncan with the Sheriff's Office.
Is this the first time we've been able to partner to purchase equipment? I know we partner a lot for overtime and special enforcement programs.
I'm sorry, is it, or are you just pointing that out? I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm asking.
We do occasionally partner with Department of Highway Safety on these mini grants, as they're called. We can't really plan on them because we never know for sure whether we'll be approved when we submit an application. And you may recall that on our budget, we have in-car cameras budgeted for in our budget because we can't predict or rely on this funding or on grant funding. But because this opportunity came up, we thought we would apply, and we were awarded the grant for a portion of the cost for 2 in-car camera systems.
All right, move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the mini grant contract application from the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office to purchase 2 in-car camera systems. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. F is Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office mini-grant contract application and award for the purchase of 2 radars for the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. Lancaster County will pay $3,932, and NDOT HSO will pay $1,800.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the mini grant application and award from the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office to purchase 2 radars. Any questions? Discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5G is an agreement with Big Rig Truck Accessories to provide unique services to upgrade the Lancaster County Sheriff's Emergency Response Vehicle. Work is to be completed 10 days from delivery of the truck to the contractor. The cost of county is $7,067.18.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Big Red Truck Accessories to provide unique services to upgrade the emergency response vehicle. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
H is an agreement between the Bridge Behavioral Health and Lancaster County on behalf of Lancaster County Corrections to provide alcohol treatment services for the county's 24/7 sobriety program. Term of the contract is from October 10th, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. The cost of the county is $12,000.
Good morning, Kim Etherton, Community Corrections. This is civil protective custody for first-time positive results at the 24/7 program. I've talked to you about this contract previously, but here to answer questions if you have them.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the behavioral health, the Bridge Behavioral Health, to provide alcohol treatment services for the county's 24/7 sobriety program. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5I is an amendment to County Contract C-16-203 with Volunteer Partners to assist in community resource allocation and coordination for the training and education of adult drug court program participants. The amendment extends the term through December 31st, 2017, and provides for additional services during the extended term. The cost of the county is $15,400.
This is the grant that has a no-cost extension. There was remaining funds that I was given approval to expend through the end of this year. Actually, I have 12 months to do it. This contract, though, will end in December.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the county contract with Volunteer Partners. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. J is a letter of acceptance for special permit number 17030 as approved by the Lincoln Lancaster County Planning Commission on August 30th, 2017, allowing Trabert Hall and its site to be used for up to 57,735 square feet of office space or up to 60 dwelling units or a combination thereof approved by the planning director.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the letter of acceptance for the special permit number 17030. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. K is a resolution concurring with the selection of pavers companies as a contractor to perform work pursuant to program agreement with the Nebraska Department of Roads for maintenance of Branched Oak Lake North Road, approving of the plans and specifications, and authorizing the chair of the board to sign the resulting contract with the contractor. Pavers winning bid is the amount of $499,965.03.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So I'm excited today because we are finally going to approve a contract. I've coordinated with Nebraska Department of Transportation for about 3 years on this. I hope it to be the first of many rec road overlay contracts that we do in partnership. You may note also that this came in about $200,000 under the engineer's estimate. It is a 60-40 split, 40% county. So it will, this contract will save us about $80,000 under what we had budgeted for. So I'm excited because that gives me the opportunity to roll that $80,000 into other overlays.
Commissioner Brinkman has a question.
So I noted in the documents that language is included that says we are obligated to pay if the federal funding is not available. So my question is, do we have any reason to believe that federal funding that we are relying on to do this project is not going to be available?
So, I too was not necessarily enamored with that language. This is actually a rec road program, so it is most likely a template document from the Department of Transportation. Mr. Durbin and I have coordinated with them several times to try to correct the language, and we haven't been able to. And so, with that being said, this is the agreement. I don't believe there's truly any federal money in this because it is actually money from the State Game and Parks Department.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions from Ms. Stingman?
Will it
Commissioner
be
Shore?
able to be completed yet this fall or spring prior to busy
So,
season?
actually, that is, it was the state's belief, with this contract that if they gave a wide range of a time period when this project could be completed, that they could get the most aggressive pricing. So it's actually next summer. And we are required to pay our share in advance, and so I will be coordinating that with the state as we go forward.
Any
And
other
I might
questions?
add, I just want to make one clarification for everyone out there who just took a breath and said you're paving a major park road during the summer. The specification does say that the road is to be complete and open for all the holiday events. So Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day.
Thank you for that clarification, and I just appreciate, I know you've worked on this project, and there was a time when the project funding from the state was in doubt, so I'm very happy that we were able to resolve this.
Me too.
And we were able to receive the funding from the state.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to concur with the selection of pavers companies as a contractor to perform the work pursuant to the program agreement with the Nebraska Department of Roads for the overlay of the Branch Oak Lake North Road. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. L is a resolution authorizing temporary installation of traffic control devices in Lancaster County.
Pam Damon, Lancaster County Engineer. So last week I came to you with what was a partial reduction in speed limits for the construction of box H-130 and H-28. And so I thought it was better to at least get part of them, part of the reduction in speed approved. This week I'm coming back with the remainder of those reductions. And so this exhibit I put up on the overhead shows the locations of the 40-mile-an-hour speed limits. The good news is I was out there yesterday and box H-130 is gone, the bridge box. And so the contractor hopes to have the floor in by Friday with the good weather, and we're really hoping that in the next couple weeks we can be done with that. And so I'm really excited to get these structures off our inventory and get them replaced with new structures. In the meantime, though, we did have some problems with some speeding out on these gravel roads. Unfortunately, gravel is the only choice we have for a detour here, and it's kind of coming at the worst possible time that we have harvest and school. And so we're trying to reduce these speeds to increase the safety for the residents who are using these detours.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize the temporary installation of traffic control devices in the county on North 148th Street. Any discussion? Or of the detour with regard to North 148th Street? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. M is a recommendation from the purchasing department and the county engineer to award a contract for roof replacement, Waverly Salt Dome, and 2 maintenance buildings to Stonebrook Roofing, Inc. and Paladin LLC. The total amount is $44,512.10.
Lancaster County Engineer Pam Dingman, as you may or may not be aware, last spring, we had a really bad hailstorm in the Waverly area, and if you go out there, I think almost everyone in Waverly has a new roof. We have been working with the insurance company for the roof of the shop, the roof of the original shop built with WPA money, and the salt dome. And so all three roofs need to be replaced. This is something that we've done similar to the bid that we do with trucking, and that we went with the lowest bid on each item, each roof. This has allowed us to bring in several small local contractors, and I'm kind of excited, an actual woman-owned roofing company. And so it also brings forth the best possible bid for Lancaster County, and so we're excited to get new roofs in Waverly.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award a contract for roof replacement for 2 maintenance buildings and the salt dome. Any discussion in Waverly? Sorry. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5N is a recommendation from the Purchasing Department and the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office to award contract to Riders Public Safety, Don's Pioneer Uniforms, and Bob Barker Company, Inc. for the annual supply of sheriff uniform clothing and accessories. The estimated total amount for all three companies is $34,900.76.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award contracts for the annual supply of sheriff uniform, clothing, and accessories. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. O is a recommendation from Purchasing Department and County Departments to award a contract to Armored Knights, Inc. for armored car services. The estimated cost of the county for the initial 4-year term is $32,000.
Morning, Bob Walla, purchasing agent. I am going to ask that you remove this from the agenda as Armored Knights withdrew their bid late Friday afternoon. And they were the only bidder, so we'll be rebidding this service.
I don't think we'll just let it, we just won't make a motion on it.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, please continue with the agenda.
Next is 5P, a sole source contract with Ron Turley Associates, Inc. to provide RTA fleet management software. Term of the contract is 3 years from September 1st, 2017 through August 30th, 2019. The cost of county is not to exceed $12,000.
Pam Damon, Lancaster County Engineer. So RTA is a very customized software that we use to track all the parts and pieces that go into every single vehicle. In addition to that, it also tracks the time associated with replacing that part or maintaining that vehicle. And so if you were to visit our shop with recency, you will note that a computer has been installed at each mechanic's desk so that they can track their time and look up their parts and really do their job a lot more efficiently. And so we're really excited about this round of implementation because it completes the modernization of our shop. And so that is why I'm bringing forward this contract.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award a contract, or approve a contract with Ron Turley Associates to provide RTA fleet management software. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Q are amendments to the following contracts for the annual supply of tires, tubes, and tire repair services. The amendments extend the contracts from November 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2018. The cost of county is not to exceed a combined total of $15,000, and this is County Contract C-17-578 with Bauer Built Tire and Service, and County Contract C-17-579 with Cross Dillon Tire.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend two contracts for the annual supply of tires, lubes, tubes, and tire repair services. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5R are amendments to the following contracts for the annual requirements of exam gloves. The amendments renew the contracts from November 3rd, 2017 through November 2nd, 2018, and this is County Contract C-15-586 with McKesson Medical Surgical Minnesota Supply, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $8,000, and County Contract C-15-576 with MMSA Medical Supply Company in an amount not to exceed $12,000.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend two contracts for the annual supply of exam gloves. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. S is an amendment to County Contract C-13-549 with Company Care for employee medical exams. The amendment extends the contract from November 4th, 2017 through February 3rd, 2018. The cost of county is not to exceed $4,500.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend the contract with Company Care for employee medical exams. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 5T is a contract agreement with Donald D. Ballou, Ph.D., in the amount of $6,000 for facilitation of the Youth Crisis Response System. The contract is funded for the Nebraska Commission on Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Juvenile Services Aid Grant. The term of the grant is July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018.
Good morning, Sarah with the Lincoln Lancaster Human Services, and I'm here today not with Dr. Bila, but with John Walsh with the Lincoln Police Department. And I just wanted him to give an overview of where we're at with crisis response. Crisis response for juveniles, anyways, is relatively new to our community, and the Lincoln Police Department is the key component in the crisis response network. So.
Thanks for having me. Real quickly, about 2 years ago, I was asked to help and sit on a board developing a juvenile crisis response in Lincoln, and it was something that's been pretty sorely missing. Before that, we had private providers and we had CAPS, and CAPS only takes kids that meet the criteria to be placed into emergency protective custody, which means there needs to be the elements of some sort of mental health issues, and they have to be dangerous. And so there was a lot of kids that were in crisis that were being underserved. There was nobody that could help. And so we looked at the Lincoln numbers for that year, and I believe it was around 2,200 calls for service. A quarter of those involved kids under the age of 17. Alicia Henderson, who was with the county attorney's office at that time, reviewed about 2 months of data and calls for service that we took, and I looked at all the kids that had made an attempt of suicide, which there were 53 attempts, 51 different kids, and realized that in there sometime there were things that would have prompted an emergency response to assist the family. And so based on that, a grant was obtained to begin the services. Centerpoint and Cedars began to work with the group. We've had monthly meetings with the core group, and then a larger advisory group meets, I believe it's quarterly. This involves everybody from Centerpoint, Cedars, the Lincoln Police Department, probation, juvenile detention, Lincoln Public Schools, I think SCC sits on the board. So a wide range of people that have a lot of input on what's going on with the kids. And we came up with a program where Centerpoint is kind of the initiator of the process. And so parents can call Centerpoint, officers can call and hand the phone to parents if it needs that, or Centerpoint will come out 24/7 and do an in-field evaluation. They'll do a little crisis stabilization. And if the kid really meets the needs, they can offer a respite stay at Cedars. Cedars is on board with that. We can transport the kid to Cedars, give the parents a break, the kid a break. But the most important element on all this is it starts wraparound services. So we're not just curing what happened today. The goal is to get the family into services and deal with the problem long-term to keep the kid out of the juvenile justice system, number one, and get the family a little more stable and back on the right direction. So in the last year, we started in January. There's been 20 law enforcement referrals. Some of those have required to come out and see us, so they'll respond in the community and meet law enforcement at the people's home to develop the plans. And there's also been 122 different people call into Centerpoint seeking help. So that doesn't involve the police. Some of the problems that with any new program is getting to change culture, and the culture has been either you can take care of it on your own by going to a private provider, or we go to CAPS. And CAPS has kind of been the default for years. Well, CAPS doesn't take all those kids, and so we need the in-between. And so we're trying to change a culture not only within the police department, but also within the community to realize that when it's appropriate to go to CAPS. So that's some of the little bit of challenges we're meeting. But Dr. Bilau, he provides a lot of leadership and sitting on the board and giving a lot of direction to us. We do have some positive things that are working. We're working a little bit more towards one of the partners that's involved, kind of unofficially announced, so I won't discuss it, that they are working on increasing their ability to meet that need and help change maybe where those kids go to start with. Instead of going to the default of CAPS, sitting there and then not being admitted, maybe we go here and get help and address the problems. So do you have any questions?
Commissioner Shore, then I have a question as well.
I was questioning the numbers. You said that Alicia had looked at it a couple years ago. Are you seeing an increase, or you just I guess a decrease would be good, but an increase would be good because it would mean more people are accessing services.
This is a brand new program, so I haven't gone back and looked. I mean, really to have any impact, we're going to have to look a couple years. We have a referral program for adults through the Mental Health Association of Nebraska, where anywhere along the spectrum of mental illness we can make a referral from. Just having a bad day to maybe they just went to the crisis center or jail and they need a soft landing coming out. And so looking at that criteria, Officer Luke Bonkowitz has done a lot of in-depth studies and has found out that our immediacy of taking care of the problem like we want isn't immediate, but looking 2 and 3 years down the road with some of these folks, we're seeing a decrease with police contacts. And so that's where we're going to see, I believe, in this population, a lot of that. But again, it goes back to changing the culture in the police department and realizing what's the most appropriate response, or where's the best place to take these kids. And that's a learning thing for us. And so, and with the Mental Health Association, the initial referrals didn't pour in. It took a while for people to realize that this is a program. And then as cops, we want a program that works if we're going to take the effort. And we found out it does work. And so I believe it's well over 300 officers out of 327 have made over 2,000 referrals since 2011 in the adult side. So I'm hoping that once this gets going, we'll have some similar numbers. So
I guess my question is probably for Sarah. And I mean, so there was a program, there was a contract through Region 5 for wraparound services. That's recently, we've been notified that that contract has been terminated due to lack of funding. And so what's the relationship between, and I understand Region 5 is, they're more focused on individuals and families who are having a mental health issue, but the referral system is somewhat similar, but there's not a connection because of law enforcement contact. So I don't know if you can speak to that or.
Right. And so that funding was coming through the Division of Behavioral Health, and I did speak with CJ Johnson, and the funding that the region is using to supplement the crisis services that John spoke about is not in jeopardy. That's a different funding source. And so then to speak about the second part of your question, first of all, I want to make it clear, the region is funding crisis response now. The county is funding Dr. Bilau through a community aid grant, but that's the extent of the county funding. The region already had funding in place for Centerpoint to provide the crisis line. It's just that the crisis line was never advertised as a line that families and youth could utilize for emergencies. And so we received grant funding in the last year to do more advertising. You might have seen more billboards. There's one up on Highway 2 saying this is a community crisis line for kids and for families. And then we made little, they look like little pocket kind of cards to give out to kids so they could slip it in their backpack and their back pocket for the crisis line. But it really targeted kids. And then the second component is, yes, as you addressed, there's not a duplication, but there's a complementing an existing service in that when the police respond, they now have an option similar to what the adult system has had for a period of time now. If they respond and they have a family in crisis, they can call Centerpoint just like they could for adults. And once they come into our system, after Centerpoint comes and assesses the situation, calms it down, then they can make that referral on to the region for wraparound services to include the family component. Does that answer your question.
I mean, yes, to some extent, but the concern I guess I still have is the referral has to come from a law enforcement officer.
Right, so it has to come either through the crisis line for Centerpoint
Okay.
or through LPD
Okay,
responding.
so it doesn't have to be through law enforcement. It can be done through the crisis response.
Right, and then
hotline.
and just to clarify too, Lincoln Public Schools also has a system in place for crisis response teams too. So if there's a situation within the school system, they also have the ability to call too. So.
Commissioner Short?
Does the Suicide Prevention Coalition interact? I mean, how are these two entities related?
So that's why we're contracting with Dr. Bilau, is because he's an integral part. He's the head of the loss team for our area, which is part of the Suicide Coalition. So they do coexist in that, and then he brings in the suicide component of it.
Okay,
There's a lot of collaboration between the two.
great.
Good question.
Any other discussion?
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Dr. Donald Ballou to facilitate, for the facilitation of the youth crisis response system. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 6 are consent items, revised development and conditional zoning agreement among Doug Derscheid, Casey's Retail Company, and Lancaster County related to change of zone number 17025, CZ 17025, on land generally located at 10,200 South 158th Street, Lancaster County, and receive and place on file the following reports: County Engineer, July to September 2017, and Records and Information Management, September 2017.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 7 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak about an item not on the agenda? I see the county engineer.
County Engineer Pam Dingman. So we talk a lot when I come to the board about closing bridges or bad infrastructure, and sometimes we miss celebrating our good moments. So yesterday afternoon, we opened Bridge H-120 in between Bluff Road, or just north of Bluff Road. We were excited to get this bridge open, and we're thankful for the contractor helping us out. So if you have a chance to go out and look at that, you'll notice it was a really difficult job getting those banks stabilized and getting that rock in. But I am appreciative and thankful that the contractor has it complete. We completed our fracture critical inspection last week so that we were able to certify this bridge for being open again. The rain held us up a little bit because we had to get gravel back to the bridge, but as of yesterday, that was taken care of, and the bridge is open.
Yeah, thank you. I want to, obviously, on behalf of the residents who live north of the bridge, they finally have access to paved Bluff Road, and I know that they will be very happy until such time that the next bridge may need to be closed for needed repairs. So, thank you so much for your, for the update.
Next time, bring pictures. We see a lot of pictures of, bridges in distress, so it'd be nice to see one that's.
I will go ahead and get some pictures of it. I actually have several that are very interesting, and so I'll forward those to you via email later this afternoon.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else from the public wishing to make a comment? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please continue with the agenda.
Next is number 8, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, October 19th, 2017, at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, October 24th, 2017, at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a public hearing on the 1- and 6-year road and bridge improvement program on Tuesday, November 7th, 2017, at 7 p.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building. The County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
Move we adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, and that concludes the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. Now let's go ahead and start the agenda for the Lancaster County Board of Equalization.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the County Assessor's Office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, October 10th, 2017.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held last Tuesday, October 10th. Any discussion? Or corrections? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for motor vehicle tax exemption applications for Calvary Community Church, House of Prayer Christian Church, and Emmanuel.
Okay, going to go ahead and open the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Anyone here testify in support, in opposition, or in the neutral capacity on these applications? Seeing none, going to go ahead and close the public hearing.
Next is number 4, action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next is number 5, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on an item not on the agenda?
Move we adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Yeah, we are adjourned. Have a good day.